Hello, and welcome to Why This Album is the Balls. Alrighty, well, here we have Sorceress by Opeth. This is again Mr. Ackerson, Mendez, and Axelrod, as well as Svalberg. And also, too, Svalberg has added a couple instruments in this album, including the harpsichord, the moog, and another piano or keyboard of sorts. Also, too, Will Malone is doing the string arrangement in this album, and he is well known for doing string arrangements for other bands like Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath and Depeche Mode. So a well-rounded individual when it comes to that kind of thing. We also have Tom Dalglady from England doing the producing along with Ackerfeld. He has won a bunch of awards in the I think from 2015 to 2020 of being, a great producer, engineer, mixer, audio engineer kind of guy. So he's well versed in the audio engineering realm. So it shows very well in this album how well the string arrangement and the sounds and the engineering has become in this album. It is profoundly awesome when it comes to listening. Okay, well, so another thing I wanted to mention is Ackerfeld's voice has, throughout the years up until this point, has become an instrument in and of itself. And I wonder if he, when he composes and writes his material, is if he is adding his vocal tone to the composition. And it seems to be evident in a few songs that his voice is an instrument, like the guitar and the keyboards and the bass and the drums and so forth, because I think he uses it in a tonal way, not just for lyrics and not just for a sound, but also to just adding in the arrangement of the composition. And I think it is evident in this album. Anyway, so song number 1 is Persephone. It begins with a bit of a classical Middle Ages kind of gig, with tones of loss and sadness. So it begins kind of giving you an overview of what is to come, I think. Now, there's a woman's voice that is citing a poem, and the song ends after a few chords and kind of leaves you in a bit of wonder, of love and of loss, maybe both. Just a beautiful tune.
A beloved name inside my heart. A fleeting glance became the start. A missing word I am still awaiting. A wretched deception I am creating.
And then we have Sorceress at number 2. This is an amazing tune. I love this tune. But at the beginning, Svalberg steals the show in the beginning of this track, just showing off some mad keyboard skills here. And then Mendez is showing some mad skills before the chug of the tune comes into the greatest riff ever. Now, at this section here, when the lyrics say, "But you're dying, it's in your eyes," And that downward bend is just that, it's like a Sabbath kind of like grind. It's just amazing. Now the song takes a small pause with some acoustics before a heavy chuggy beat and drives this dark vocal punch. There's a brief guitar solo in this tune, and it goes back to the main riff. Surprisingly, this tune didn't have much of a guitar solo like some of the other tunes, but it's fitting. And then here, we take another twist for Svalbard to show off some of his skills with a great dark ride to the end. What a great tune, I would say. And then song number 3, The Wild Flowers. Wild spelled with an E. Maybe some old English version, eh? Now the song begins with a great rock and groove. Then here we have this tone as if bugs are eating your brain, as he says, feasting on my sanity. It's pretty wild. Reminds me of a Pink Floyd song. Now, this section here, we break from the main riff to a nice quiet verse before this heavy growl breaks into an amazing guitar solo. After another round of the main riff, we take a trip down this gorgeous ride with the harps and acoustics. Just gorgeous. The song ends in a fury with an ominous chorus and vocal chant. It's so cool. Then we have song number 4, Will o' the Wisp. It's a great tune, and I'll explain a little bit more in a minute. But the first verse, the vocals are slightly distant, but in the second verse, the vocals are more intimate here.
When you're tired of hating me, you no longer want to hide. When there's trouble admitting that you have been wrong all along. When the words you have written down, the reason everything is gone.
I thought that was a cool kind of thing to use in your musical ability to kind of emphasize some sort of emotion. At this section of the song, the drums and bass kick in and keep the ride of the vocals here. It's just a beautiful tonal structure.
When you smother your friendships and take much more than you need. it to yourself and points to the source of the deep.
Now, this part of the guitar solo plays these really great bluesy chords, kind of getting you in this blues groove. Is as if this album is pretty blue, so to speak. This particular rhythm of this solo just kind of fits very well. Now, Will o' the Wisp, this song, I'll explain a little bit why I think this tune is such an important part of this album and the story overall. The feeling of this song that I get is a person that has gone on a very long journey and is come to a point where you can finally rest, and the person takes out the guitar, sitting under a tree, looking out at a field of flowers and grass and trees and mountains and so forth, and just begins to tell a story through music. As the person has gone through years of something and is then at that moment where you finally come to the point where you can actually tell your story. Because if you try to tell your story too early, it doesn't sound right. You tell it too late, you miss a lot of things. But you come to that point where, okay, I can do it. This is the moment where I need to tell the story. So this is, for me, that's what this song was all about, is just you've gone on this long, long journey and you finally come to this point where you can actually begin to express it. Beautiful song, beautiful. At song number 5, we have Chrysalis, which is interesting as it is the part of the butterfly, right? Where the butterfly has come out of its cocoon and is beginning to become something different and new. So now it begins with just, I think, for me, it was like just a bunch of angry chords and angry vocals just slamming in. And then we get this great riff and vocal medley here. Now the anger kind of continues on until this section, where we get a battle of the beasts. I mean, Svalbard and Ackerfeld just having this amazing exchange of solos of the keys and the guitar. It's just fantastic. And here we give way to All That Is New. And this is I think the name of the tune says it all, but the feeling of this song is just amazing. So it's a gorgeous ride with a heartfelt guitar solo up until the end, and where it says just leave it all behind you. You know, it's just... I can't say enough about the story of this album and the story of the music to go along with it is uncanny. Then we get to song number 6, Sorceress 2. A very poetic acoustic piece, just damn amazing, with soft acoustics, but the vocals have this bit of sadness, yet the vocals are at a higher pitch than what you would think that a sad vocalist would be expressing. So I thought that was really cool.
Until I take my final breath in the air or even less. I hope you give me all your time.
Now, this part of the song that stands out to me is this verse here. When it's just, that last statement is distant, just kind of leaving you with that statement, just profound. And also the same for the ending verse as well.
Don't be afraid to kiss her down. And never wonder if I stay. My love for you can
Now we come to number 7, which is the 7th Sojourn, which is interestingly enough. Now this song begins with a great Middle Eastern vibe, with these bongo style drums. At least he's playing with his hands, and you have this deep beat of one of the drums. I don't think it's the bass drum, but maybe one of the big toms. It's like the heartbeat of the song. It's just so deep and gorgeous. Now every measure of this rhythm gets more intense as it progresses, adding in bass lines and then the string arrangement. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Now at this section, this dark rhythm comes in, and it goes into this scale that seems like it's out of place, but then it sucks you back into that trance-like Middle Eastern vibe. Now the song twists and fades to a quiet acoustic and these ghostly vocals with the piano in the background. It's gorgeous. Just beautiful. We come to A Strange Brew, number 8. It is a strange song. It's filled with a lot of different melodies and things like that, but it's a cool tune. But it begins soft with vocals and easy tones, and then this rhythm is just the heart of the song, which will turn into something a little bit later, and I'll show you that. Now here, I think he speaks through the guitar, as if he doesn't have the words to express what is happening. the guitar tells the story. Absolutely fantastic. Then a chaotic jam slams in like anger takes over. It's like, well, you can't understand what the fuck I'm saying here. You know what I mean? Now, the most profound moment in this song is where, when he's screaming, there are no words to speak, and then speak is then just ripped out of his mouth. The guitar takes over that word and then tells the rest of the story. It's unbelievable.
You have no face, nobody, no one's just.
God, what a moment. Now here is where that beginning part of the song, where it turns into something more, happens here, and then it just absolutely just takes over into something much bigger, and it's just profound. Now at number 9, A Fleeting Glance. The song begins with that classical acoustic for just a moment, and then these short keystrokes along with the lyrics. It's just a kind of a happy-go-lucky kind of tone to it, and it's uplifting in a way until you kind of understand what the lyrics mean. So it kind of has like a double meaning, which I think it kind of represents maybe on the outside, things look fine, but on the inside, there is some fucked up shit that's happening. Yes.
Silenced a voice of my I've known for years. I was perplexed by a fleeting blank stare, biding my time until courage had built up inside me, then came clean.
Now this section here, we get this heavy, chuggy riff before getting back to the classical acoustics and the main rhythm. Now the ending rhythm sounds both of loss and life, and of letting go. It's such a great rhythm, and then we're getting towards the end of the album here, and I think it's time that you come to the understanding that maybe something just needs to drastically change. Get to number 10, Era. Begins with a classical style piano piece before going all in on this chuggy riff. Now, however, the vocals kind of take you on a ride different than the rhythm. Interesting, yes. This section here, the solo just grabs you and tells you to kind of just let your soul be. Stop listening to the voices of the devil, so to speak. You know, you have that devil on your shoulder telling you what to do and other people telling you what to do, but your soul is just like, well, I just don't feel that way. And this is what that guitar solo is just, it's giving you that emotional. It's bizarre, but that's how guitars sometimes talk. You know what I mean? Well, then the last piece, Persephone, Slight Return. It is a slight return with a little poetic piece at the end. Kind of ends where it all began. So maybe start anew. Don't make the same mistakes twice, eh?
The years went by with disquieting grace. A past obsession sunk without a trace. I moved into winter and found my home as my boiling blood had turned into chrome.
What a profound album. This is something I think if you are of the type of maybe slightly passive, you're introverted, and you don't always have the words to say something, this album really hit the heart, you know. There are things to learn from this, as I think Mr. Ackerfeld is, you know, using his experience to let us, you know, I guess join with him in a way that, you know, I feel for you kind of feeling. Maybe not. I don't know. But that's what I feel that this album is. It's a wild ride of a long journey of not having the words to speak, chaos, anger, confusion, loss, and anxiousness, and all that crazy shit that you go through, and not only expresses it in a lyrical way, but also in the most intense musical way. So there you have it, Sorceress. Hope you enjoy, and until the next one, which is the last of what we know so far, In Cauda Vaninum, that will be next. So keep tuned, and thanks for watching. Cheerio!